I bet you don't need a microphone on stage, do you?
Oh, she's so funny. I think she's having a go. But no, I don't.
And you're watching CHTV Raw. Check out this.
You're right. I am a little loud.
Tell me about those autism jokes that you do.
Oh, look. Thomas has given me so much material. I've learnt so much from Thomas, I've got to tell you. He's incredible. But, every now and again, we talked earlier about political correct and what it's okay to say. And I work with a very corporate audience at times, and so I'm just very aware of making sure that I don't cross a line. But every now and again, I have to say it slips out and I cross the line. But, this is my real life, and this is what I've lived with. And so, when I talk about having to have strategies to deal with what I've gone through and reframing things in your brain, Thomas went through a stage of calling me a big penis. Oh, you're just a big penis, Mum, aren't you? You're a big penis. Oh, yeah, you're just a big penis. Now, what? I don't know why. If I knew, I'd write another book and we'd solve that problem. But, yeah, Mum, you're just a big penis. And so, and now I've got to go on stage and go, my sparkle is alive, and thinking to myself, I just look like a big penis, apparently. So I've got to talk myself through those moments. Otherwise, I'd end up in a ball on the floor and not get up. So now, so you're just a big penis, Mum, you're just a big penis. And I think to myself, I wouldn't mind one just quietly. And, yes, and then I have a laugh, and I have a giggle to myself, and I feel better, and it's okay. And that's the importance of maintaining your sense of humour through all of this. Mm-hmm. You just have to maintain your sense of humour. When my husband had a stroke, he was left with one word. It wasn't the good word. It was the F word. That was the only word he could still say. I've had appointments with speech therapists about this, and they do studies on this, of why that word sits somewhere in your brain, that it's such a great word for everything.
Wow.
So that was the only word he could say. What do you think Thomas's first word was?
Oh.
And so my whole house was filled with that word, to the point that I almost got a map made up for the front door with your fucking welcome on it, just to desensitise everybody as they walked in, because it was ridiculous. But that's real life. That was my real life. And in telling those stories, I know there are other parents with children with autism that are living those very same stories, and we can't just keep it it's just behind closed doors. It's got to be brought out, because this is the reality that what we were living with. And in me finding my humour in it, then I can move through it. That's what lifts me up through it, is being able to find that humour in those things, so otherwise, what do we do? What are our options? So no, Thomas gives me some amazing material.
So is that how you created the Adults Only?
Yeah, that's right. So that's kind of how the Adults Only show came about, because I just started getting to the point of wanting to share all of these stories, but wanting to do it in a really safe space. And because I do events too with children in the room, so obviously I'm not going to do that. But I also didn't want people coming there being very fragile, because I think that if you're emotionally fragile, you find it harder to laugh. And that's the truth of it, When we're emotionally stronger, I'm not concerned that you're laughing at me all the time. I just get that we're laughing together. Now, I'm all for political correctness and kindness. I'm all for that. And my humour is not crass or derogatory or nasty. But I also tell stories in that Adults Only show about stories from the graveside, about when we used to visit Flash and these funny things would happen. The first time we went out there, the grave was still piled up high of dirt, and it had been raining. And Jack and I were having a hug, crying, and Thomas walks up onto that pile of dirt and starts sinking into the grave, literally. It looks like my husband was dragging him down from... So Jack and I have got one hand and we're pulling him out from this grave, screaming, "Come back!" And he's got mud all over him. I can't imagine what that looked like to all the onlookers. But we laughed after that, because we're allowed to. But I think some people might be thinking, well, you shouldn't be laughing about that, it's very serious. Yeah, you can actually. You're allowed. And my husband, that would be his sense of humour. He would think it was great that we found that funny. So it's about allowing ourselves laughter in those moments, because once again, if I didn't, I would still be on the ground in a ball and would not be able to get up. So the Adults Only show is about having a safe space and giving people permission to laugh without offending anybody. So don't come if you think you're going to be offended. Just allow me to have a space where I can tell these stories and we can get hope from them. And, parents came of children with autism because it made them feel great, because they're feeling like, oh, it's not just me. And I make everyone else's life feel great, because they leave going, oh, I thought my problems were bad, Jesus. So I feel better now. But, yeah, allowing that humour to come through and knowing that it is okay, that we are allowed to laugh, yeah.
You sound like you were born funny.
I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
You know what? I love that part that you said in the interview, that we just knew how to be disruptive at 2.
Yeah.
But we've forgotten.
That's
and now we have
right.
to go and pay
hundreds
hundreds
of dollars to be disruptive, and yet, we knew that. We knew how to march up and take our place in a front row. And coincidentally, we were dressing up in sequins and tutus then as well, just quietly. So isn't it interesting that we've got to the place where we've got to go and do courses on how to love ourselves again, and yet that was our natural state. We knew we were good. When you're a 2-year-old, ladies, and you were, nude looking in the mirror at 2, you were like, yeah! You were lowering yourself up. You weren't saying, for God's sake, Mum, I've got cellulite and I'm 2. What the hell are you doing to me? No more milk tomorrow. What are the kids at kindy going to say? That's learned behaviour, that we would act like that. So, and I really call women on this too. Someone said to me the other day, I'm 50 now, and they sort of said about the Botox, are you going to do Botox? And I've got to say I'm not. Now, me not doing it is not judging anybody that is. I won't judge you for doing it if you don't judge me for not doing it. But I've made a conscious choice not to, because that just is against my whole message. And when I'm in stage and I'm telling a story, this is expression. I get the worst pictures. People try to do photos of me on stage, and I'm like... But that's emotion, because that's how you get... That's where funny comes from, not just what you're saying, but the way you use your face. And I don't want my face frozen. I want it to be moving with me and to look like me. And I challenge women on saying... We're always saying men should accept us ageing. We can't accept us ageing. So how dare we ask them to accept it when we can't accept it, So, and there's women out there saying, I can't stand the side of this backside. I hate looking at it. I don't like it. But they're saying to their boyfriends, but you better love it. And you better not be looking at anyone else's. How does that make any logical sense?
You've just given me permission to be fully expressive. My husband often tells me, he goes, have you seen your face right now? It's like, no, but I feel it. It's like suddenly I'm not supposed to look like this.
Yeah, no. Oh, look.
Thanks, Julie. We're going to be friends for life.
Absolutely. And once on my selfies, somebody said to me, they have a go at me, people have a go at me all the time, about my selfies, because my selfie face is this. So even when I'm taking a photo of someone else, I go, so all my selfies on Facebook, and someone's on the open mouth thing, but oh, sorry, I don't do the duck face. Everyone else... And I go, what is that? And then when I was doing research on humour, I read that immediately that you make your face into a smile shape, even if you're not even doing it over something happy, your brain immediately is tricked into thinking that it's happy emotion coming, and it releases the happy hormones into your body. So that's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
So from now
I think my makeup's ready from laughing too much.
So that's got to be the selfie face, That's right. So that's how I feel about that. But what I didn't tell you earlier was... you were talking before about my followers, and I've got quite a tribe on social media. But a lot of that came about when I had a post on social media go viral. And that was a post around body image, because I'd gone to the beach one Sunday at 47, in my bikini. I never got the memo that maybe I shouldn't be in a bikini at 47. And so a couple of young people on the beach said something negative about my body, and I overheard them. Now, I'm not angry at those young people, because the fact they're judging me means they're judging themselves. They're growing up in the same world that's so focused at women and their bodies. But, and it hurt a little. But I say this to audience, sometimes life hurts a little and sometimes it hurts a lot. So it did hurt a little, and I had to work on it, So after they said that comment, I felt hurt. And then I had to kind of go, I love my legs, I love my legs, I love my legs, my sparkle is alive. You've got to talk yourself up again, you kind of do that. But I got home that afternoon and I thought, what are we doing? We're a first world country. We're supposed to have our stuff together. We've all got beautiful homes. A lot of us do. We're pretty abundant, really, most of us. And yet these same people who are so abundant are still so caught up on negative body image. And it's still on the front of all these women's magazines, which tells me that women are buying those magazines, and so it's still... they're buying it for that. So I go, what are we doing? Enough is enough. So I thought, what could I do for my tribe to inspire them around positive body image? So I thought, I know what I'll do. I coerced my teenage son to take a photo of me in my bikini by the pool. He was wrapped, especially when I put it on Facebook. And I said, my name's Julie Cross. I'm 47 years old, and yes, I still wear a bikini to the beach. Who should I apologise to for the stretch marks on my stomach from carrying 2 9-pound healthy baby boys? I apologise to no one. Who should I apologise to for the dimples on my thigh? You thought were cute when I was 2. We say to a 2-year-old, look at your cute little dimples. I can't remember the last time that happened to me. So what are we doing? So, this is my body. It's healthy. It's strong. It's leading me through a big life. And haven't we got bigger things to worry about? So let's start loving ourselves up and each other up. Well, that post went up on a Sunday afternoon. I was not prepared for the reaction because by Monday morning, my girlfriends are all ringing me saying, have you seen that post? It had 120,000 likes. By the end of that week, it had gone viral, 240,000 likes. It had 14,800 comments. There were 45 points of contact with the media worldwide, morning TV, New Idea magazine, online magazines all over the world, first world countries, radio interviews, and thousands of messages in my inbox around people affected by negative body image.
Wow.
So that was kind of when my tribe kind of exploded at that time. And I knew that was, the universe gave me two messages at that point. The first was, you're on purpose. This is a great message and people need to hear it. The second was, are you ready for this? Because you're putting yourself out there now, because I had my fair share of trolls. There were people that I had to walk to the room and put a block on that were nasty. But do I focus on them? Because sometimes life hurts a little. Or do I focus on them or focus on all the people that got it? Because the more exposure you get, the more exposed you will be. So it kind of made me sad that it went viral for two reasons. First of all, that's indicative of the emotional wound we still have in our society around body image, So we need to start loving ourselves up, ladies. We really got to do that.
Absolutely.
If I'd known it was going to go viral, I would have worn a sparkle bikini instead of a $20 stretch Kmart black bikini.